Hello folks, welcome to Saving Miller. Today I want to introduce you to my favorite tools, and I'll do an HPR review of these. These are probably some of the most used tools that I have. So I have had these two for quite a while, and I looked over them very closely, and I am not sure which one is the older one. One of these I believe I purchased probably in 2015, so it's about 5 years old, including the battery. And the other one I probably purchased in 2017, something like that. So I've had them a few years. And just to be clear, these are both the Dewalt DCF885. And so this is an impact driver. The little motor in there spins pretty fast, and then it has impacts. So one of the big things about these impact drivers is how short they are. That's huge for getting into tight spots. I had a Dewalt 14 volt that I used to hang cabinets, and that was kind of where I was introduced to it, and I burned that one up driving some legs, and so I replaced it with this. But these tools are extremely robust when it comes to driving screws and even bolts and things like that. So I use these constantly. I put things together with screws. If I'm doing a small framing project, I'm framing with screws. I'm not doing it with the nail gun. And so I don't know, I probably touch one of these every week. So to give you an idea of the advantage of these things, if you had a regular drill, driving a 2-inch screw into solid wood does not go well with the Phillips drive like I have here. But with the impact, these things will just run that thing right in there. And the screw snapped off. I mean, that's how much power these little drills have. Or these little impact drivers, they're not drills. So let's look a little bit at the features. So first of all, the batteries. I've got a lot of batteries. I believe the ones that came with these were 1.5 amp hour Dewalt batteries like this, but the top is black. They look a little bit different. I've got a whole bunch of them. This one actually has a date code on it of 2019. I bought some of these last year, or in 2019, yeah, last year. They had a really good sale on them. So the battery connection is reasonable, I think. I've had no issues with like loose batteries. You know, sometimes you'll have a little bit of wobble there and it might affect the performance. Don't have that problem. The little hook, you'll see this one has a hook on the side and this one does not. These are essentially identical, but they were made in slightly different years. I don't really use the hook, and actually it usually just gets in the way. I haven't taken it off because maybe I use it occasionally. Second thing, moving on up the handle, the rubber grip here is quite good, I think. I think it's really robust. Neither one of these is really torn up. The little rubber pads on the side here really help to protect the body. There's no cracking. You know, like I said, this one I'm pretty sure is the older one, and it's at least 5 years old and has had some pretty serious use. Not on a daily basis, but quite a lot. The forward and reverse is right there for me. It fits my hand fairly well. You know, the index finger on the one side and the thumb on the other. These are variable speed, so you can go pretty slow all the way up to full speed. Let's see, no comments on the motors really. I have had some that tend to burn a little bit, you know, and then you'll smell it for a while. Nothing of the sort with these. One of the features that I really like, and most new drills have this now, most new drills and impact drivers, they've got the lights on here. Very useful. DeWalt's actually stay on for maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds. I guess you'll be able to see in the video. The quick change disconnect here is hex only, and so if you want to use drill bits in these, you have to have a drill bit with the hex, the standard 1/4-inch hex drive on there. To disengage these, you just pull that forward and it pops right out. These things are just really great, reliable tools. I would recommend these to a homeowner. You can do all kinds of drilling with these. Like I said, driving the screw is no longer your problem. Breaking it might be, but driving it is not an issue. And as far as weight, you know, with the 2 amp hour battery, this one, it weighs a fair amount. But then if you're really driving screws, if you're building a deck or something like that, you're going to want a heavier battery, but it does add quite a bit of weight to the drill. Now, one thing that I thought was really interesting is where these were made. So if you look at this one, it's got a sticker on there, and it's a little obscure, but it says made in the USA with global materials. And it says the same thing right here, made in USA with global materials. So I thought, okay, I guess you can't accuse me of having a Chinese tool here, like someone did about the bandsaw. This one, however, says made in Mexico. Just straight up made in Mexico. That's all it says. Has the same address on there. This one actually has a serial number on it, whereas this one is a little bit different. It's got a QR code on it. So I'm not actually sure what happens if you scan that QR code, but apparently some of these are made in different places, so definitely watch out for that. I think the DCS885 is probably one of the higher grade ones, but I don't know that they have a cheaper one other than the, what do they have now, the 12 volt system or something like that. It looks very similar to this, but it's a 12 volt instead of a 20 volt. So my whole ecosystem is 20 volt, that's why I started with, which one did I say is the old one? I think this is the older one. And my whole ecosystem is 20 volt. That's the only thing I buy, partly because generally DeWalt tools are a reasonable quality, and I now have batteries that I can interchange. I've got quite a few batteries. So there's my thoughts. Like I said, I think this is one of my favorite tools. When I thought about, you know, labeling my tools in such a way, it's actually a close call between these two and another tool that I'll do a review of later. But really I use these a lot more, and I would miss these a lot more if they disappeared than the other tool. So there's my honest thoughts about these. I have, because I'm being honest, I have not owned other impact drivers. In my opinion, from what I've seen, the Milwaukee and the Makita are probably very similar in quality. You could probably throw the Bosch in there. I think you would definitely see a difference with the you know, the Harbor Freight stuff if you go with that route. If you want to see a comparison, AVE has a great look at it. I'm not going to tear these apart like he does. He's already made the video. Go check his out. I'll see if I can link it or something like that maybe. But he's easy to find. And he actually does a comparison, you know, so you do pay more for the DeWalt name, but there are small differences in the materials and in the motors that are spec'd, and even in some of the components up in here that I think are important considerations. But if you don't use it very often, maybe that is a better way to go. But I must say, I've been very, very pleased with these, and I would recommend them. You can actually get the tool for $99, so if you've already got some of these 20 volt batteries, it's easy to add. I think one of these I purchased separately, by itself, with 1 or 2 batteries. The other one I purchased with a drill, a 1/2-inch drill. So that's where these came from, and I expect that these will give me many more years of great service. So there's my HPR review of the DeWalt Impact Driver. Good luck. Saving Miller out.